Hi, this is Jacqueline Tran reporting for my third assignment for the chat. And so we will start from right to left. I made a connection list file that will hold the connections that get connected from the clients. And then this receive message, it receives all the messages and basically it just reads what's getting received from the socket, and then it's checking the length, and then if the length or actually, and then if there is a message, then it'll print it, and then else it'll just close the socket and then exit the whole system. The speak method is what does all the work with talking to each of the clients and like returning which client receives what messages, specifically if it's the message being sent or the client sending the message, then it won't receive it. So this is just like initialization and then running it. It'll run. And the while loop, it'll check for what message bytes are getting received. So like when there's some kind of message coming from the connection, it'll check for the length, and then it'll print what is being said. And then if there is no messages, then it'll just close the connection, and then it'll remove the connections as well. And then unless it goes into that else, it'll go into this, which does the main work. It'll go through each of the connections in the list, and then if that connection is not the connection that's sending that message itself, it'll take each of the connections and then send it. So then in the server part, I just did this just to remember how to put in the port number. For some reason, I forget. This is the main function. I took all the inputs that I need, which is to read the command line, create a socket, the list that I said before, and also the speak file, which will, as I said, speak to each other. And then this is just to read the argument number, what port number it's given. These are, as we've always done before, to create a socket, bind it to the port number, and then it'll listen to that port number. And then while true, this is just checking to accept whatever clients come in. So this will check the socket and the address, and then it'll also append the address and socket onto my connections list file, and it'll just append to the list, and then it'll just start running that speak file that'll read the messages that come in from the clients. So then in my chat client file here, it again shows what port number and stuff. So this is my main function. Again, it'll read the command line, create a socket, and then take what port number the client gives. And then this counter is really important because that's what holds on to the name. And the client name is empty for right now. And then after that, it'll read the socket that's being created and also connect to the host or the port number that they give. So then from my receive file, I'll take my receive import receive message class, and then it'll start that. While true, it'll add onto the counter. It will then take the message that the read line says that the read line is. Ding holds on to the message that's being sent. This is what I call the message that is going to be sent. And then if it's not a message, then it'll just break. It'll just get out of the while loop and stop. And else, if it is a message, then the counter will then equal. If the counter is the 1, so this is the very first message that's being sent, it'll strip it, and then the client name will then be that message that the user sends for the first time. If the client is greater than 1, so this is past the first message that's being sent, it'll try to, then this will be the message. I called it ding because it's like ding, you got a message, and then it's equal to the client name and then apostrophe and then whatever the message that they said, and then it'll sock send, and then it'll encode it, the message that's being sent, and then it'll just, if not, then it'll just fix it. And then outside of all of that, this will just shut down. This will just make sure that it's shut down and everything's closed, and if it doesn't, then it'll pass. And that's about it. So thank you so much